Till now we have seen how to work with recursion inside our Elixir. Now it's time to see how we can combine list along with our Elixir. And I can't emphasize more that the lists inside Elixir are not your regular arrays or lists. Lists inside Elixir are actually linked lists. So even if a list looks something like this, it's not what it looks like. So for those of you who don't know what is a linked list, here it goes. So here we have three different nodes, and for the first node the data inside the head is 1. So as you can see, the data inside the list, this one actually looks something like this inside the memory. So this entire thing, this would be your node number 1, and the data inside your head would be 1. The darker portion that you can see over here, so this is going to be your tail of your node number 1. And this tail is actually pointing to yet another node, and the data inside this node is 2 that you can see over here. So this entire structure, this is our node number 2, and the data inside the head is 2. Now again, this node also has a tail, and this tail is pointing to yet another node. The data inside the node is 3, and as you can see, this is going to be our node number 3, the head, and the data inside the head is 3. Now if you have a look at the list, we don't have any other parameters left. So the tail of your node number 3, this would actually point to something which is null. That means it is not pointing to anything else. So this is how a linked list would look inside the memory. Now just to refresh your memory, let us go back to our terminal. So we can say that we have a list and the elements are 1, 2 and 3. Now as we just saw, we have 3 different nodes. And if you want to see the head of the first element, then either you can use the built-in function for the head, or we can also use pattern matching. And in case if you want to use the pattern matching, then we can say that the first element should be head. Then we need our cons operator. Then we need one more variable for the tail, and let us pattern match on list. And here we can see that the head is 1 and the tail is 2 and 3. Now suppose we have one more list. Let us call it as list number 2, and this has a single element of A inside of this list. Now what happens if I try to pattern match on this list? So let us pattern match and see. Let us write the head, and we also want the tail, and this time we want to pattern match on list number 2. So as you can see, the data inside our head is A, but what happens to your tail? Let us check it out. So as you can see, the tail is blank. That means we have exhausted this linked list and there are no more elements left. So keep this pattern in your mind, and we will see how to work with recursion and lists right from the next video.